Yo, what is up guys? If you've ever played Mr. Fantastic, you already know that people tend to talk about him like this.
So this is a tier list for throw picks. When they pick this hero, they're throwing the game. They're not trying, they want to lose.
I remember when Gambit first dropped, I would play Gambit, and then another teammate would like go Widow, or they would go like Fantastic.
But we are straight ignoring that shit today. I'm going to show you how after 1,000 hours I cracked the code on why you should play Mr. Fantastic, how to make him work in GM plus rank so that you can go from being a throw pick to carrying your lobby. Let me take you guys down to the practice ring so I can break this down properly. Mr. Fantastic is a 3-star difficulty character, but he requires a Reed Richards level of brain power to actually get value out of his kit. People talk trash about him being a throw pick, but when you look at his kit, it's designed to survive, control space, and outlast your opponent, especially those server admin characters that rely on raw bursts or constant pressure. Let's look at his core abilities. First we have Stretch Punch, which is a medium range move that can be swung across your screen to hit multiple enemies at once. This is going to be your main bread and butter poke tool. Next we have Flexible Elongation, your main mobility tool. This pulls you towards the nearest person, bumps away enemies, and gives you and a teammate 75 shield. Timing this move correctly will dictate whether you get to your target with enough health or you die before you can even move. So be sure to space these out based on your available health and cooldown pool. Next, let's look at Distended Grip, his main displacement tool. This move allows him to grab one enemy twice and pull them in, or grab two enemies at once and pull them towards each other. This is the main way you're going to displace people out of position so their teammates are exposed. Then we have Reflexive Rubber, which is a 300 damage invincibility shield that allows you to reflect 60% of the damage that you get within 5 seconds, which is a huge part of why you can fight these so-called server admins. This is one of the reasons it feels damn near impossible for people to burn you down fast enough to be worth their time. Plus, you get to hit sick clips like this.
Bitch ass Kai, sit the fuck down!
Next, we'll look at his passive, Elastic Shrink. When you use your ability that's shown on screen, you'll gain charge. Once it hits 100, you gain 350 HP, boosted movement speed, and a damage boost. This bonus isn't just an extra bar, it allows you to reset trades at your own discretion when people can't predict you're going to gain health. Timing this right will allow you to break down these server admins who need a very specific amount of damage to kill. You outlast them, then burst through at the end of their engagement window. And finally, let's talk about his ultimate, because chances are if you're watching this video, you're probably using it wrong. There's two main ways to use his ult, aggressively and defensively. When you're in rooms with small ceilings, use your ultimate aggressively. The smaller bounces means you can output the full 6 bounces worth of damage faster, which helps you burn through support trying to heal each other. However, that's not the only way to use it. His ult has a defensive capability too. You can use it as an HP gain tool and use it to bounce to your advantage and stall out these tight situations where you might otherwise be burned down quickly without your shift and your passive. Now that all that's out the way, let's get into a gameplay breakdown so I can show you how you can go from being a throw pick to carrying your lobby. See here at the start, I already have 77 charge on my passive before the match even starts. That means my first piece of advice is match Distended Grip at the floor and use Flexible Elongation on your teammates in the spawn room to build about 70% of your passive before the match even starts, so that you can come out the gate with your damage ready. Don't get lazy here. Shout out Angela for pulling me into their backline. Because she captured me after I reached full charge, I was able to do max damage on their backline, crippling their team composition before the game even heated up with an easy pick on Cloak and Dagger. Now that we're up in people, I can safely brawl on the front line and look for opportunities to use Flexible Elongation to quickly engage enemies who aren't paying attention. Take this magic for example. Because I bumped her with Flexible Elongation, she was slightly stunned and therefore was unable to use her portal window of invincibility before Spider-Man and I finished her off. Chasing down his strings is the perfect time to talk about effective range and what's worth chasing. His strings was within my effective range because I could kill him and get back to my team quickly. However, Cloak coming out of spawn over there in the back, yeah, she's outside of your effective range. Because if they get help, there's no way for you to help back out. So you always want to keep in mind where your teammates are at and keep them within a 20-meter range or so that you have an out if the fight becomes disadvantageous for you. Let's highlight my ult usage here. I'm in a pretty terrible spot. I turn around and see that I'm completely alone on point with no help in sight. That means I'm going to have to use my ult here defensively to stall for the arrival of my teammates, and any kills that I get with it are just a bonus. Now that my team is back and I got 4 picks with my ult, this is just an easy fight cleanup from here. As you can see, my Punisher and my Invis woman are both 0-2, and we're still winning. This just highlights that you're a self-sufficient character who can work independently of your team's success. I'm not saying to never swap, but don't use your teammate's poor performance as your reason to switch. You can carry even the most garbage players if you play your cards right. Now, while you're very self-sufficient and can survive a long time, you're not completely invincible. You can die if you are too aggressive or your supports aren't locked in with you. Here I was slightly too aggressive chasing this Wanda because I see my Invisible Woman has ult. So if I bait Cloak ult like I did, and then back out towards Invisible Woman, I can safely wait inside her ult for Cloak's ult to finish and continue to fight. I communicated this to her, but my Invisible Woman was dog shit and died with her ult, so I died too. This will happen sometimes when you expect something out of someone who sucks, but it's fine. Reset and take the fight back in your favor. It's not the end of the world. I also want to discuss with the Invisible team up with Mr. Fantastic because I genuinely despise this team up. It gives you a small amount of regen based on how much damage you've taken. Sounds decent, right? Pop it mid-health, gain back some shield, and stay in the fight longer. But it never works out like that for me. Every time I pop this team up in a fight, the animation of him punching his hands together gets me killed because I can't shift or cancel it. Just get stuck in that damn animation and die when I could have used literally any other move to save myself. So what I've learned is it's better to pop it as an approach to the fight and regen some of the damage you take, even if it's not as much as popping it at low HP, because at least you don't instantly die for pressing the button. And the reason this team up feels so awful compared to someone like Johnny Storm is because Johnny gains shield regardless. He can gain overshield if he goes above max health. And there's no startup animation that gets you killed trying to activate it. This one just feels like a trap in my opinion. But now we're going on to round 2 here. Going into round 2, our aggression and dominance of space control has completely fried their team composition. This range is way too deep with no support, so that's a free kill. Which allowed us to aggressively dive their backline when I get a kill on Invisible Woman because of it. You don't need to do that much, you just need to take fights that are easy and it'll snowball into more kills further down the line. It may look like I'm trailing off into nowhere right here, but I'm playing on max volume, and I heard Psylocke's little booty shake as she ran by, so I need to keep my eyes and ears open and fish her out, because if I let her go here, it's very possible she flies into my backline, pops ult, and we lose the fight. It's important to know what your job is at any given moment, because people play under the expectation that you do your job. If you fail at your task, you run the risk of losing your healer, since there's not much they can do against these aggressive dive DPSs. Here, I'm not gonna lie, I was being smooth-brained as even though that Invisible Woman was 1 HP and I could have popped ult to get away, I didn't, and this is what I mean by effective range, because I decided to jump down and aggressively fish her out. I basically made a bet on whether her team could get to her in time, or I did. This highlights why it's important to know your effective range. The moment I jumped down, I changed the fight from being in my effective range to a coin flip of speed and luck. Try to avoid putting yourself in these situations when you can, because there's no reason to be this aggressive when you already have the fight won. Here I do something that separates me from other fantastic players. As you can see, I clearly pop my ult into a Cloak ult, meaning I'm not getting any kills out of it here. But I want you guys to focus on the situation around me. There's no one here to help, and everyone on my team is either pushed back really far or straight up dead. That means if I use my ult here, it's going to be purely to stall the point while I wait for reinforcements, and as you can see, because I was willing to burn my ult into a support ult, I was able to absorb the maximum amount of damage while stalling long enough for my team to come back and recontest. After an easy little cleanup, there's one more potential fight left before we win this, and it's imperative to not get lazy. Every game of Marvel Rivals is very losable. Keep your head together for one more fight and it's GG. I had no clue where Psylocke went. I'm not God, bruh. I can't see invisible people, but it helps if you learn the patterns of where they like to fly off to. Dashing high, dashing behind you, dashing back. And once you can get a read on which direction they're the most comfortable going, you can have luck play out in your favor like it did here. So that's how you make fantastic plays to dominate in domination. Now let's move on to a game of Convoy. For this game, I start off in the side room to create a pincer angle within my effective range. People usually like to hold right about here, so what I can do is force them to turn their heads and look at me while my team attacks them from the front, and I still have an angle here to fly off this way and reconvene with my team when they inevitably send the cavalry for my ass. Here we brawl in the front line with the tanks, but I want to highlight the importance of timing. I had a slight miscalculation on when to approach the enemy team, and because of that I ended up dying with 1 second left on my shift. Oh, perfect! Now that Bucky blew his ult trying to walk up on me like a dumbass, I can show you how to absolutely dunk on these server admin characters that think they're immortal. Here we use Bucky's own tech against him. You sit behind a wall, peek for a moment, hit your right click, and then dip back behind cover. That gives you the illusion that you're grabbing them through the wall. So how does it feel to get pulled through a wall, huh, Bucky? It's not so fun when it's on you, huh, bitch? Here I make a slight mistake. I try to pop my ult and get under the doorway so I can get the super bounce on Luna, but I low-key fuck it up. What I should have done instead was chase Adam so I can use my ult in that back room to the left and punish the people when you rebox with this ult. Don't ask me how, they're all just completely ignoring me behind them. Like, yeah, I know they've got Luna ulta, but they don't even try to fight me. This is actually the perfect time to show how to fight against enemy support ult. For the most part, they're all going to be grouped up within the range of a support ult, which means that you can abuse the swing and cleave mechanic to farm a billion ult charge in just a few seconds.
Holy shit! They were all stacked on top of each other, and they got massive. Oh, Ultra Dragon down. Ultron 1. Down.
Because they just ignored me in their backline last fight, I already have ult again, even though I just ulted. Best believe I'm going to use this to my advantage. I don't know what the fuck my DD was doing here. He called for me to jump in the backline with him, but then he got fucking scared and just stood there. As y'all can see by the stats, we're just solo running the lobby down at this point, keeping around 70 to 80% accuracy. Quackly don't do it like me, for real. Rogue definitely made a mistake here coming around this corner. She definitely just put herself outside of her LOS of supports here and just threw for sure. I see these Namor squids here, but I'm just going to completely ignore them because I know that I can go get Bucky first. I can completely ignore that and not even worry about the damage it gives me. Yeah, this Rogue is just throwing again. It's fine though. Easy cleanup on Strange. DD trolling as usual. What do you know? I think I'll just go handle this backline myself, except for this fact that this Rogue just cannot stop throwing to save his life. Yeah, that's like 5 times that this dude just died in the span of like 2 minutes. That's actually insane. But let's move on to round 2 so that we can clutch this out. Easy brawl on the front line. They tried to switch Bucky. You could tell their team comp is fried at this point because I didn't even realize that they swapped Buckies until after the game. You could definitely tell that they were arguing in chat, being like, Bucky, you're terrible, give me Bucky, just for this dude to get dunked on the exact same way. Even though I pop it into a support ult here, you guys already know how I feel about popping my ult into a support ult.
Yeah, that dude hopped off Bucky real quick.
They've got one last fight to try and pull this out, so obviously they're going to dump all their ults here. Got the easy cleanup on Fist, easy cleanup on Emma, and GG. If you guys enjoyed this style of video, let me know down in the comments below. It does take me a lot longer to make these deep dive gameplays, but as always, win more, die less, peace.
Club and I'm raising my yah-yah, hitting the mills cause I only like mama. Just like Mel, I be fucking on la-la, pulling a lady, ain't talking about gaga.